Good evening. I'm Dave Martin, Executive Chairman of MCAM. Delighted to be here with Diversity and Promotions and with Bernstein Global Wealth Management to talk to you this evening very briefly about opportunities created in the minority-owned business environment. As investors, you've heard that this is a very volatile market. You've heard that it is very difficult to pick the winners in today's economy. I'd like to suggest to you that it's time to take a look at minority-owned businesses for a number of reasons. First of all, while historically minority-owned businesses over the last 40 years have seen themselves primarily as suppliers to manufacturing large corporations, today's economic perturbations allow us to look at the emergence of minority-owned businesses not as suppliers of someone else's technology, but as the creators and innovators of both new technologies as well as new business practices. Those new dynamics, which come from a history of being disciplined, of being focused on cash flows, and focused on the value of networks and the value of associations, taken together, create an economic robustness that you do not find in many other industry sectors. Minority-owned businesses have typically seen themselves not only as contributors at the employment-based level to make sure that there are good jobs available to members of our communities throughout America, but they've also been able to focus on the notion that it is about making sure that when one person wins, the community wins. And when one person struggles, the community steps in and helps out. I'd like for a moment for you to consider as an investor that a minority-owned business presents not only a unique opportunity with respect to the domestic market, but I'd also like to suggest to you in this era of globalization that those who have been talented in managing diversity in the United States will be well situated to address international market opportunities, not only those coming from the private sector, but also those coming from the public sector, who will look to diversity-equipped businesses as a primary base for supply and partnership as the global economy continues to expand. It's a new day. It's a new day to think about minority-owned businesses, and it's a new day as investors for you to consider your role in building hope for today's market, but also building inspiration for the next generation of entrepreneurs who will lead the minority-owned business community in this country and around the world into a very new day. Thank you for taking the time to be here this evening, and I look forward to working with all of you in the coming days to transform the landscape of this economy. Good evening.